Last year they were a 500 ball club, and you mentioned the challenges of finding somebody to score for her. Kelly Graves for the Oregon Ducks in his 9th year. And we are underway. Michigan State wearing gray uniforms today, and the Ducks going with their all blacks. This is the 4th time these two programs have met. Last time was in December of 2018 when Michigan State upset number 3 Oregon. And Kyei misses her first shot as we take a look at the Michigan State starting 5. Matilda Eck back in the starting lineup. Not just the scoring, but also a calming leadership presence.
Yeah, one of the most experienced players on the floor for Michigan State. Even though she's still young, not only does she have experience with them and in the Big Ten, but internationally as well. And there's no substitute for that.
And she is a sophomore and was playing for Sweden on Thanksgiving Day against Israel back in Stockholm, a game that the Swedes dropped to Israel. And then she got on a plane and took a long way to get here. There's Kyei, missing initially, but then getting it in. And this is a player getting a lot of time. And Kelly Graves is very excited about her future.
Well, she's a player that he talked to us a lot about last season, and just her development. Alluded to how much like Tierra McCowan from Mississippi State that she is. And one of the things he mentioned about her this season is she's just much more confident, a much more confident person, not just basketball player.
And there she is, number 15. There's confidence, taking it right to the basket.
Well, she's going to be a challenge on the interior, not just for Michigan State, but for anybody that they play in the country.
And that certainly will help on and off the court. Michigan State still looking for its first points, but they draw a foul.
Take open shots. It doesn't have to be the first shot against the zone.
Endyia Rogers looking to inbound it. Paopao. Good look.
Te-Hina Paopao is just the ultimate scoring point guard. She's always under control. Kelly Graves has spoken so highly of her and what she means to this team and program.
Gets it out for the open look. Rogers couldn't convert, and now another whistle. Kyei, who is 6'8", and she steps to the free throw line. In the comparison with Tierra McCowan, that's a pretty good ball player. McCowan, who developed over her years at Mississippi State, had a good year in the WNBA last year as well. Kyei's numbers well up from last year.
Increase that fitness level, be able to stay on the floor for longer periods of time. Because per 40 minutes, she was an incredibly efficient player last year.
All right, fellow Canadian Iselin Alexander, number 12 in gray. VanSlooten put her arm out and they got her. VanSlooten, as a true freshman, leading the team in scoring, had her first career double-double in the first game of this tournament against North Carolina. And Michigan State stuck on just 2 points. They double it quickly, getting it into Gabby Elliott.
And that's really good execution against the zone. Penetrating pass, getting it to the high post, and then when that middle of the zone comes up, finding the cutter.
Now we see Eck getting into a little defensive scrum. Quick shot by Gray. And she buries it. One of the true freshmen.
This is a team in Oregon that shoots the ball almost 37% from 3. And then they turn Michigan State over.
So Oregon comes out quickly and effectively. Right now it's just after 7 p.m. in Stockholm. That's a lot of travel. Just from Stockholm to here, about 5,600 miles.
It'll be interesting to see, does she stay fresh? She's fresh right now. Does she stay fresh and can do what they do best and turn teams over and get out in transition? They'll be fine. But particularly in the quarter court, who can be that consistent scorer? Who can create for themselves and create for others as well?
Here's Eck. Driving, but good defense. VanSlooten came over to help out. Shot clock is dying. The extra pass worked out.
Tamari McDaniel has really been a player that's starting to emerge as that go-to creator. Excellent pass.
But then on the other end, they can't stop Taya Hansen, another Canadian on this team. Another thing, when they make their shots, they can set up in that press defense, which has become so important. Try to force turnovers and get into transition for Michigan State. Eck. Bottom of the net.
And certainly you miss somebody that can just knock down a shot. And Susie Merchant was exactly spot on. And she said it just gives everybody else confidence when they see the ball go through the bottom of the net.
Eck, just a sophomore, was on the all-freshman team in the Big Ten last year. VanSlooten.
Well, and this is the concern on the switch, the mismatch down low. Great kick out, and Paopao just poised. Subtle shot fake. Get her defender up in the air.
Very confident in that shot. She's hit all three of them so far this afternoon after struggling from the floor in their loss to North Carolina. Oregon had an 18-point lead in the fourth quarter to the free throw line as one of the things that Coach Merchant wants her to do more of. Now down by 6. Michigan State played a lot of people in their preseason. They came into this league, into this tournament rather, 6-0. Paopao continuing to be aggressive.
Always on balance.
Gets the 3-point.
Nice.
Kyei put it on the floor and then lost it. And a foul at midcourt is Hurst. Halleck was a great basketball player. On next door, a close one as expected between UConn and Iowa. For the unbeaten Huskies, who took out Duke the other day. We will see Duke tonight in our final game against Oregon State. It's Hurst to the free throw line. Second year at Oregon. So he really likes this team, the vibe of the team. He says it just has they're connected. They listen to each other. He's really optimistic about the season.
Keep Michigan State around the perimeter, and that's exactly what you have to do if you're McDaniel. You got to find the seams, but you got to be able to deliver the pass.
Eck with 3 points so far in this game. At 7:30 Eastern time, North Carolina and Iowa State will be playing.
Shoot the three as you are right there. You got to find ways to get it inside. Staying on the offensive glass is one, but you got to put those in.
Boy, that's right. That was a good chance for Alexander to finish underneath, but she failed to do so. VanSlooten setting the screen. Rogers with the floater.
Beat her to the spot.
So now she sits down with a couple of fouls, but a 17-point lead. So a bit more leeway. Daniel gets it to go.
Had a couple of possessions where they had a flasher to the high post, and that's what you have to do. Player movement just as much as ball movement.
Joyner with the block on Kyei. And then McDaniel a little bit out of control, but and we can talk more about that in the second half after it's announced at halftime of the Iowa-UConn game. Right now, Oregon out of the timeout. Taylor Hosendove, her third school. Georgia State and Clemson, her previous stops.
Well, Susie Merchant was very concerned about the on-ball screen defense, and right now Oregon just having their way in the two-man game.
McDaniel. Here's Isai over to the fellow freshman VanSlooten. Remember, Paopau's on the bench with a couple of personal fouls. Isai, how about that? Shot clock at 6. McDaniel with the long. And then Eck, as soon as she comes in, affects things. McDaniel with the miss. Michigan State continuing to crash on the offensive glass. Eck left wide open.
Michigan State's doing a really good job on the offensive glass. Give yourself opportunities and being able to convert, and then this is what they do best.
Yep, they able to set up that press after the make, and that's 5. It's an 8-0 Michigan State run. Paopao back on the floor. That run happened with her on the bench. Matilda Eck.
Because you think of Matilda Eck as a three-point shooter only. She knocked down a couple of them early, and that time attacks the bucket with the strong finish.
Now a 10-0 Spartan run.
You got the switch. You got to be able to get the ball inside to VanSlooten.
Oregon had led by as many as 17 points in this game. McDaniel feeling confident now.
I was going to say, that's one of those shots that's the good shot. But she's feeling it.
Yep.
She's feeling it right now. She's confident offensively.
But the answer on the... Eck left it short. Had it taken away by Paopao. 2-on-2. Paopao out of the corner of her eye. After Michigan State close to within 8, but a giveaway as Hurst drove into the lane. And then on the other end, Kyei with an easy rebound. Off the Brewers miss. Brewers coming in with some size, but again.
But when you change sides of the floor, transition defense is coming to ball side. As soon as she crossed that midline, she knew Phillipina Kyei was open.
Kyei now with 7 points and 8 rebounds. Left open and knocking it. Shot clock is dying now. Get it into Kyei. Just got it off in time, missed it, but because she drew iron, had a second opportunity. First-year starter for Kelly Graves. McDaniel, nice. And then Kyei.
She's always been the tallest person on the floor. She's always been able to shoot.
Alexander misses
on the offensive glass, keeping themselves in it with second chance opportunities.
Joyner getting that bucket after the free throw. Miss by Alexander. McDaniel hounded a bit by Rogers, slowed her down. McDaniel cut off. It left wide open. Continuing to chip away. VanSlooten just couldn't finish.
Kind of comes back. They turn him over. They score a lot in that fourth quarter. The consistency. The tide just turned.
Tar Heels won that game thanks to a 14. VanSlooten got it over with about a second to spare.
Well, that's what the 2-2-1 press is designed to do. Not necessarily turn you over, but take time off the clock so you don't have to guard as long in the court-to-court.
Good help by Alexander. Shot clock winding down, but helped out. 2 in a row. Rimmed out. By the way, that bucket we just saw from Oregon, the 3, was their first field goal of the second half.
And Rogers with 13 points, but she didn't score in the first quarter.
Osmond this last season with the torn ACL, working her way back for Michigan State. Second highest recruit ever at Oregon.
Alexander, somebody who's an incredible pro right now, and Sabrina Ionescu.
And now on the staff. Phillipina Kyei. Joyner threw it away. VanSlooten turned the corner. Alexander was able to get in the way, but VanSlooten scored anyway.
Well, VanSlooten has had multiple opportunities at the rim and hadn't been able to convert. That's a good sign for her. Get some confidence now. I know Kelly Graves talked about that's one of the things he wants to see her improve on is finishing around the rim.
First paint points of the quarter for Oregon. Long three! Mono. Rogers doesn't get the spin. Good box out by Alexander on Kyei. Osment left open. Got the friendly roll.
And you've got to feel great if you're the Spartans right now. You've just continued to hang in and chip away. Get some defensive stops.
They're absolutely energized with this great comeback. Paopao. Matilda Eck missed the game against Iowa State with national team responsibilities for Sweden. Big leader, leading scorer on this team as well. McDaniel using the baseline.
A great take by McDaniel. Just when you think she's going to take that three-point shot, she attacks with a secondary drive.
And VanSlooten with a big step through the foul. Now on A-Rup, who only had 2 points in that first half, averaging about 13 a game. And VanSlooten patient and then went the other way.
I mean, Oregon has traditionally been so good. You think back to Sabrina Ionescu and the offenses that Kelly Graves teams have run. He had Courtney VanSlooten at Gonzaga as well. He understands how to put really good guards in screen and roll situations and teach them how to play out of it.
VanSlooten played for him at Gonzaga when they went to a couple of Sweet 16s. McDaniel attacking the basket again.
Nia Clouden had the ball in her hands a lot, and Kamaria McDaniel is emerging as that person.
McDaniel with the rebound quickly gets it up to Hageman, who's been quiet until right now. And she's from East Tennessee, so
Jefferson City, Tennessee.
So I'm sure there's going to be a credit. Osment with the miss. Rebound corralled by Oregon as they were down 15 after the first quarter. Lost to Iowa State in the first game of this tournament, but converts them with the three.
Oh, the difference in this second half for Oregon, the first half they get a lot of interior paint points. The second half they're getting to the paint. Michigan State is collapsing and they're knocking down those open shots on the pitches, making great decisions. And Kamaria McDaniel
after one, down big after one. Eck.
And that's Matilda Eck's first shot of the second half. They've got to find ways to get her more touches.
That'll work. Since the opening tip. Kyei.
Just as good as an assist, because as long as you get it off of the backboard, when you force that rotation, Phillipina Kyei is going to get that offensive board.
Kyei now with 13 points and 14 rebounds. Goodness. Eck with the pick and the steal.
Her career high is 40. You mentioned she played at Penn State and at Baylor and has found her home back here, ending her career at Michigan State.
She's from Eastern Michigan. And that's another veteran move, right? To sell it like that. First misses on the other end. VanSlooten gives him a second opportunity. Rogers needs no time.
54% coming into this game, so you certainly have to be there on the catch. She has that quick release.
Rogers having a terrific game on the other end. There's Eck. Rogers with 19 points. That's a new season high for her. We just saw her hit back-to-back threes for the Ducks. It's a game that started at 10 a.m. local time. That's early for you college kids, right, to get up and play a game?
Sure is.
That's early wake-up call. Pow. Hit big a sigh as
Susie Merchant, no question.
Championship coming up, 7:30 Eastern time on ESPN2. It's North Carolina and Iowa State. Stephanie Suarez, who is a transfer, played in NAIA Masters College in California, where her family went, and a godsend for Bill Fenley. This is where the Blazers and Bill Walton, who's in the house now watching this, he's going to be working some men's games. He's got some great memories here. Kyei, stop that.
I mean, that's just tough. You're not going to stop that one-on-one look inside for Phillipina Kyei if she gets that deep position.
15 and 15 for the Canadian conditioning. But when you start playing games, is it still different? Does it still take you a while to get your legs, do you think, in the season?
It does take a while. It takes a while to get in game shape, particularly you think, post players are running rim to rim all the time. Kyei is a player who didn't get a lot of minutes the season ago.
Likened her to Te-Hina Paopao. Osmond at the line after being fouled by Rogers. It is chilly. This is where the Portland Winterhawks play hockey, and safe to say the ice is on the floor because it's cold in here.
Just no rotation. It is really hard to have a defensive rotation on lane line drives. And just good recognition and great execution.
McDaniel to go along with the 15 points.
Potentially an offensive and defensive substitution right here. Phillipina Kyei is.
VanSlooten, another freshman. We're the #2 recruiting class. ESPN2 for the Phil Knight Invitational Championship. We'll be back here at 10 Eastern. Good movement inside.
And North Carolina, too, it's just outstanding.
And we have a pretty good one on Thursday in Iowa City.
We do.
Michigan State's going to lose, but again, they came back and never gave up after getting down 15 after 1 quarter of play.
Now they've got the bodies and finding the rotations, finding consistency is going to be key for Susie Merchant's ball club. But if you're Oregon and you're Kelly Graves, you got to feel good about the way that your team came to play today, and certainly continuing to blend this veteran backcourt with a young front court.
And the University of Oregon takes 3rd place in the Phil Knight Invitational, winning it 86-78.